I walk into the foyer, and on the left-hand side, there is a stack of small children's baseball items, a small bat and some uniform things. And I said, well, are these your grandkids? Oh, no, that's my child's. I was like, I thought your kid was 30. Oh, yeah, it's fine. It's there.
His little dog looks at us and poops right on the floor.
And I'm standing in the dining room, living room area, and I see a body chalk mark on the floor.
And I walk through and I see in the restroom the toilet is filled with...
Welcome to another episode of That's Awkward, and we are still in Las Vegas, Nevada. Yeah, I'm starting to get tired. We've been here for almost a week now. R4 convention. But we're still getting our episodes in, and I'm just meeting all sorts of people left and right here, and we're finding out some awkward stories.
That's what we're looking for. Awkward stories.
There we go.
And some of them are awkward and funny, and some of them are awkward and sad.
Okay.
I've got a sad one for you.
We're going to see what we got, but before we get started,
okay,
tell everybody who you are, what areas you service.
I'm Jennifer Leche. I'm with Remax Properties East in Louisville, Kentucky, and I'm with Remax Advantage in Southern Indiana.
All right. Tell me a little bit more about Kentucky, that area there.
So we're from bourbon country. We're from Derby City. We're from the River City area. So I live basically on a Ohio River, so we encompass Indiana and Kentucky.
Okay.
A lot of horses, a lot of corn, a lot of land, great prices, good area to invest in.
Good barbecue.
Well, we're not Kansas City, but we do our own smoked meats.
There we go.
Yeah, but bourbon. We're bourbon country.
Okay.
Best bourbon in the world. That's my opinion.
Okay. Well, let's get started here. We're going to talk awkward story, crazy story. I think you mentioned sad, so let's see. We'll determine that and see what's going on.
Well, there's nothing more awkward as a real estate agent than basically being set up for an awkward moment, not expecting it.
Kind of like this.
Kind of like this. This is very awkward. Wasn't expecting this. So I joined Remax 3 years ago, and when I did, I put a balloon on my lapel,
right,
and out and about in the real world and out in the jungle, and I'm beating the trees, seeing what happens, and I met a nice lady, super sweet, looks very well put together. She recognizes the balloon. We live in the same city. It's a very, very small place.
A little brand awareness.
And it was at a post office, but looks like she's very well pinned together. And I talked to her about real estate. She goes, I'm looking to sell my property.
Good.
She lives in a very nice property. And we're talking, in my area, it's about double what the average sales price is. And I am knowing exactly where she lives, thinking
ready for this.
I am getting ready. I had high expectations. Our average sales price is about $250,000, and I'm thinking her house is probably worth $580,000, $600,000. I'm thinking this is going to be great. And I follow up with her, and she's like, well, I'm going to get some things ready. I'm going to prepare for you. And, call her up, and, well, I'm not quite ready yet. And I follow up. So a year and a half later of following up, I have been following up. She's finally, Jennifer, I am ready. I am ready for you to come see my house. Perfect. Let's put her on the calendar. Put it on the calendar. Everything is great. I call her on my way over there. She's like, okay, well, just let me know when you're here. Give me a call. Or, okay. Call you in your drive. Perfect. I get to her house, and I'm a little concerned about what I'm seeing on the outside. See some deferred maintenance and landscaping, and she's expressed that she is a widower, and she's had some issues. But she said, my landscaper came 3 weeks ago, and what the heck did they do? I knock on the door, and she's there. And she opens the door. Hey, Jen, it's great to see you. And she comes outside, and she closes the door behind her. And I went, oh, okay, is there a problem? Do we need to? I'm okay with dogs, cats. Right. I love animals. I'm fine. Oh, no, Jen. I just wanted to let you know that I'm No, he's like, just spill the beans. I'm good. I'm
Right,
here.
right.
And this has been a year and a half in anticipation. I'm like, I'm like a dog with a bone. I want to get in there. She goes, well, my kids put some boxes inside the house, and I just don't, they're just some boxes inside. I said, oh, it's fine. I've seen everything. So she, after 5 minutes of talking her off of this ledge, she allows me into her home. Well, there were more than a few boxes.
Okay.
More than a few things. So her children were in their 30s. I walk into the foyer, and on the left-hand side, there is a stack of small children's, like, baseball items, a small bat and some uniform things. And I said, well, are these your grandkids? Oh, no, that's my child's. I was like, I thought your kid was 30. Oh, yeah, it's fine. It's there. Okay.
Sounds like we had a order.
We had a little order.
Okay.
So you walk in, and it was stuff here and stuff there and boxes here and boxes there, and you couldn't even get into the dining room. And you walk in, and then all of a sudden the smell hits you, and you're like, oh.
Yeah.
And then the dog is barking, and I was like, oh, it's okay. We can let the dog, and oh, sure, the dog stays in the cage. And I was like, you have a 5,000 square foot house. Oh, no, the dog stays in the cage.
It's going to mess up the house.
Oh, it's going to mess up that house. When I say it was shocking when I was put off for a year and a half because they were readying the home for me to come see. I wonder. She's like, well, I really didn't do anything. I just, I wasn't ready. And, we went into every room. And, when you're talking about condition issues, oh, my house is great. It is ready to sell.
Right.
And the roof leak that is not just in the upstairs, but it has gone all the way down into the basement. And, I'm like, oh, well, that seems to be that there might be a little bit of floor damage. Oh, yeah, that's no big deal. That's been there for 30 years. And the damage, I mean, it's sad. It was awkward. It was very awkward.
And it's actually very interesting because this happens a lot
It
in our
does.
industry.
It does.
And a lot of people don't realize that.
They didn't. And it's not the first.
It's not the first.
The first house that I ever showed was
let me
that order.
Let me ask you this. Was she aware? Is that...
No.
Okay. And
No.
That's part of what I'm getting at is a lot of times when we're in this situation, the actual client they're not even aware that this is not normal. And
when I asked...
at it like, everything is fine.
Nestor, I asked her if it would be okay. There was a kindergarten, now mind you, her child is in their 30s, a kindergarten drawing that was posted on the glass window in the kitchen. And I said, I wanted to kind of gauge what her mindset was. So I asked, if we had a showing, would you mind if I took that down so that it didn't get damaged? She goes, nope, it stays there. And I'm like, yep, okay. You got a problem.
You do. And that's a psychological thing that we see when we're in those situations. That
it is.
There is so much to unwrap before you can actually get them ready. It's really, you have to get them ready before you can get the home ready and get them ready to get the home ready.
And unfortunately,
did it ever work out?
She's not ready.
So
she's still not ready.
Okay. Well, I'm going to also tell you, I don't know if anybody caught this, but I want to throw this out to you. Kudos to you. A year and a half of follow-up.
Thank you.
And this business is all about follow-up.
It's always about follow-up.
Exactly. And that's where the money is in this business. And so often, people that take in that situation, maybe call 2, call 3, and they were throwing it by the wayside. And here you are a year and a half later to get the appointment. Now, there was some other stuff behind it.
Sure.
But
I get it now.
Job 1, get the appointment.
Thank
got
you.
The appointment.
Thank you.
Now job 2, going to have to work on, getting her mindset right and working on that whole thing. But kudos to you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
My pleasure.
And
so it was an awkward story,
awkward.
But it is also a sad story.
I'm sorry that it's a sad story, but it is something that we all deal with.
It is.
I think it's a matter of readying yourself for any situation and not offending the client or the customer in this case, because it wasn't something that I really wanted to take on. I felt like this is probably the third or fourth quarter situation I've had to deal with. She's not psychologically ready to even accept that there's going to need to be some changes made in order to achieve the goals that she wanted.
They are usually not.
They are not. So,
So, Jennifer,
yeah.
if they're looking for you, how can they find you?
I am at Jennifer Leche Realtor, and it's Leche, like Leche. I'm Mrs. Milk, Leche. And I am found on Instagram and LinkedIn and Facebook, Jennifer Leche.
All right. We will drop all that information down below. And if you have any questions or comments for Jennifer, please feel free to let us know down below. And as always, if you like what you see, please like and subscribe. We would greatly appreciate that. And until next time.
Thank you, Nestor.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.
Likewise. Thank you. That was interesting. That was fun.